Alright, again, Jasmine Smith, Challenge 2014, interactive number 4, interactive learning number 4, this is number 2. So the problem is to define the definite integral from 0 to 1 of x plus 1 squared times the square root of 3 plus x plus 1 cubed dx. So the first step is I went straight into u substitution, and I made u equal 3 plus x plus 1 cubed, which is what was under the radical. And so you actually, when you solve for du, you get 3 times x plus 1 squared dx. And to make it easier, you'll see in the next step. So to make it easier as far as simplifying and crossing things out, I solved for dx and made this du over 3 times x plus 1 squared. So I brought that over here with my u substitution, and so I am bringing down my integral all the way down, but see, when I brought back in, when you do u substitution, you bring that back in and you have the square root of u, which this was u, times du, and then you just bring this down from the original problem given. And this is dx, I'm sorry, this is dx, so you're multiplying by dx, and when you substitute that, that is du over 3 times x plus 1 squared. So the reason I did that is so I was able to cancel out this extra term that's here. So the x plus 1 squared canceled out with this x plus 1 squared, leaving you with the square root of u times 1/3 du. So the next step would be to actually move this 1/3 out, factoring that out, and then you're actually going to integrate this square root of u. So I made this u to the 1/2, and again, the power rule of integration, you add a power and then you divide by that new power. So u to the 1/2 plus 1 equals 3/2. So here I integrated that, so that's u to the 3/2 over 3/2, and then you bring down that 1/3. And again, showing that you still have to make it equal to 1 and 0 and find the definite integral of those. So what I did here to make it easier, I multiplied by the reciprocal to bring this up. And so that'll give you 1/3 times 2/3 times u to 3/2, and still have to plug in the values. So simplifying this, 2/9, u to the 3/2, and actually plugging u, like the real value in for u, which is the 3 plus x plus 1 cubed. You plug that in, and so you're left with 9/2 times 3 plus x plus 1 cubed to the 3/2. So you're finally going to plug in the values and find what the definite integral is, and so you plug in 1 for x and you plug in 0 for x. And basically when you simplify all of this and you get the right answer, it will be 6.32953. So the definite integral using u substitution and a lot of simplifying of 0 to 1 of x plus 1 squared times the square root of 3 plus x plus 1 cubed dx equals 6.32953.